I have finally made it. Actually, I'm lying. I didn't make it. I bought this prop replica on eBay. I know I've been saying that I'm gonna make one and not buy one. The issue that I have making it is the pages and the whole thing. You know, it's something that I would definitely make. I decided to buy one anyway. Now, I saw one on a bid for about $60. And it was here in Australia, so it wasn't far, and I don't have to buy one until it eventually gets here for like 2 to 3 months. No. And my dad's kind enough, he decided to bid it himself. So I don't know what to say, but thank you, Dad, my dad, for getting this for me. The Grail Diary from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Now, I don't know, but since in 2012, I always wanted a prop, and I did look on eBay, and they were very cheap. And I never actually ended up, I asked my dad, and we never actually got one, and they were actually cheap. Back then, they were around the 12 or 10 or $40. Now they're, this year and over the years, now they have become extremely rare, and most of the time they're extremely expensive to get. And it's worth it. They're worth it. No matter how expensive the prop is, it's worth getting it, because you will not ever get the proper thing. You will never get the contents inside. You will never get the proper pages correctly. And I do have all of that with a prop I was working on. I don't have a really good reason. I just didn't want to make it because it was just way too much effort. And as an artist and a prop maker myself, that is a bit of an excuse, because I have made so many great props that I haven't shown you guys, and I'm still in the middle of working, or I haven't made a video on it. They are so good. In fact, I have a lot of money. I have like about $200, so I decided, you know what, I'll just buy it. And, you know, you can make a really good one as well. You'd rather buy the proper thing than buying this, because this, as I said before, in the past, this book was claimed as a prop replica. As soon as I said that in the video, and then I look back on it, now they changed it into not calling it a prop replica, because this is more of an illustration. Look how freaking big this is. Look how big this is. This is a proper size. This is not a replica, as it is mentioned as not one. So I don't know why people end up claiming it for money's sake, but this is, I don't know why, but I don't think this is worth $90, including the pages themselves are absolutely not accurate, but more of an illustration, and look at into what pages they would have covered. Oh yeah, this is, kept the receipt and everything for this. So some of the pages are accurate in scribbles, but not in words wise. You can see this looks like it was done in on software, not hand drawn like in the thing. There, including this is not accurate as well. I don't know. Yeah, it's still got the barcode. This cost $98, and I feel ripped off, and I didn't know why I bought it, just because of what I looked into it. I just cared more about the pages and was hoping of taking photos by photos so I can print it down in a smaller size of this, but there was no point because they're all not accurate. So I went to great length of looking for images that you could not possibly print properly because of how ugly it looked on pages, accurate pages. So what I did was that I put in each separate page on Word documents and Photoshop to get rid of all the crap and the things. And so it'd just be like it would just be a print that blends in with the whole entire paper. And I went through different sizes, and I went to the size I want, so I print all the same size. And I did that, and then I ended up, so I got all the pages, and they're on my computer, and I have an idea, and I got a recent comment saying the person wants me to do a time-lapse video on the book. Unfortunately, it's impossible because I would have the video on one spot while I'm working on. Sometimes I do time-lapse videos because they're not, the thing I'm working on is not that difficult. And sometimes when I'm working on something, it's impossible to do a video because I lose my concentration. I don't know if I got the right video angle, and you know, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different reasons on why I sometimes don't do time-lapse video, but also I did an idea on every single page that is edited and so it's printable. I'll put them all in order for you guys, and then I will put each separate page in one big file on my Facebook page that is accessible, and you can download it or just print it out yourself. And just a little tip here: if you're printing out the page, make sure print one page the size you want, and then if you got the correct size, you can print all the rest out in the exact same size if you want. So anyway, again, now back to this. This is a prop that I won on bid, thanks to my dad. Originally, I was gonna buy it, but I just don't know what to say. And on eBay, you can also buy one. You can buy. There's like 10 available. There's 10 available. Originally, I was gonna buy a different one, which was much better looking, proper looking, but then ended up going sold really quickly. So I never got time. I never got to buy it, even though I had the money for it. Ended up getting this one. Now back to what I was just saying before. There is a seller that is selling 10 of these, and it's not like a bid or on auction or anything. The thing is, I was a bit skeptic because they didn't. Because going through the photos, going through the on the description, the photos were absolutely different each time. You got like photos of the pages looking completely different each time. You got ones that are accurate, and you got ones that aren't accurate. And there's a photo where you get you got like a picture of a book, you got a picture of all the stuff that's included with it. The book itself with the leather material looks so off, and because if you look into the details, it is handmade. So yeah, the person that's making these are handmade. So I decided to get this one because the photos were actually what it was representing. It wasn't just the photos, because was made before, and I don't know if it's the same people that made the ones that are 10 available so far. So I don't know if the person that made this himself, or he bought the item from that seller and now he's selling it. There is a couple of issues, but we'll get to that later on, and now we can get into the book itself. So I am very I feel bad of not making my own, but I decided not to because, again, I've got enough already stuff on my mind, and this was just another gap in the headspace. I decided to get it out. So yeah, now as you can see, this is the strap it comes out. Now this is one of the issues. This is stapled on. Now, I have mixed feelings about this. Now, one, I could do a little bit of work here and there to fix it up. Then again, $200 and something was maybe... Same thing with the Jumanji board game that I bought pre-ordered. It cost $400. But originally I was going to work on it to make it look more like you see in the movie, but I decided not to. Just leave it in the box, leave it in... But the thing is, the way it was packaged, the box is damaged, so... Anyway, that's a different story. And I haven't even done the video on that one, so I might do another video on that later. Again, I would take the staples off and stitch this in. That's what I would do. I don't know why. Again. Alright. And you can see there's a bit of tears within here. Now, the seller claimed the intentional and not damaged, but I don't know. Again, I don't know, but anyway. So yeah, this is what it looks like inside, and I'm very excited. Get a letter, and it's a letter. It's to do with Dear Junior. Here is my Grail diary. Please insert you. Please, I can't read this. Unfortunately, I'm not really good at reading at this type of font. But if you can, I'm glad you can. So this is really nice. I got a bunch of good photos. Oh man, that's ripped. Isn't it meant to be ripped? No, of course it isn't, but why? Anyway, yeah, okay. So this was clearly used. The person that said this was not damaged, I don't know if it looks like it is. Don't know if it's deliberate or not, that's the thing. But again, the photos are nicely done. Bit of backing paper, but it also has like a reflective shine to it to give it the illusion. And this one as well. Again, what's with the creases? But also it kind of gives it the effect that it was in the book as well. But it kind of ruins. Okay, sorry if I'm getting a bit too negative about this, but I should be as a seller standpoint, even though I bought it. And look at that. There's a rip here. There's like, looks like a print gone wrong or something. There's a scratch there. I don't know. It's deliberate for the book. And look, if you can see that, it's been folded into squares. So I think it's deliberate. I don't know. It just seems off for me. And look at, you can see a little bit of problems already. There's like, yeah, I'll get into that later on. You see there's written down Henry Jones, and if you look really closely, you can tell it is all printed on. So it doesn't look hand drawn whatsoever, because it isn't. So yeah, a lot of words here that I looked up. These pages are all accurate. I'm glad they are. And here comes the dollar note that does not come off. Alright, here's another issue that I have with this. Is that why are these stapled on? The pages are stapled. If I was making this book, I would definitely not staple these on. I would. So the thing is, I would sew these on, not staple them on. So yeah, this is another thing I would have done, is that I would have had to do was take these pages out and just sew them together. But the thing is, I don't want to spend trouble on wrecking it as if I did. And this is the little issues here and there that just a little bug me a bit, because the pages are good, the leather is decent, the rest is not so good. I mean, like, the feeling of paper and the smell of it is really good. I should put this back in. Hang on, guys. I forgot to put the photos back in. And the page here, you can see it's not even properly glued in. I think I was, you can take this as any way you like it. So this, you got the $1 note, and this is not a real one. This is clear printed. And look, there's a tear there because of the bloody stapler. So it wrecks it. All the pages are accurate. They're all in the proper place. Sorry, I'm off. There we go. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Look at that. The print of the text is completely off the page. There's even a tear here. Why? What the hell, guys? What? What? Who's the seller? Come on. Why? He He lied to... What a scammer. He said that there will be no tears. Man, I should have looked this beforehand. Oh my... Oh my goodness, what the hell? There's a terrier as well, why? Okay, alright. Now, this is the Indiana Jones map. Oh my god, it's complete... What the hell, guys? Hang on. I'll put that to the side so I don't... Right. This is the map. Look how faded that is. That's alright, but... Wait a minute. Put this as well. Yeah, that's all correct. But what the hell, man? This feels... I don't know. I'm gonna look back on see how if this was the map was really like this or not. I don't know. Again, oh my god, I don't know what to say, man. I don't want to swear here on camera. Even though I have sworn in my other videos, I don't want to swear here. Like, look at that. It's completely cut off. The words and everything. As I said before, yes, this is handmade. It's just these little issues here and there. I really like this thing. It's just that the more I'm looking at, the more little bits here and there, little details here and there, little errors here and there, starting to bug me. And if this doesn't pick up really well, this is the whole page is so yellow. So that's all good. And the original actual props themselves are a bit hard to figure out what is good, what is correct, and what is not. If I remember correctly, there is several books in the film. One is the hero version, the other one's this, the other one's that, but they're all different. So there is no proper way of making an accurate one. As I said before, all the pages on how they printed are accurate. But what is not accurate is that the stapling in these. I could deal with the leathery material, that is fine, but the whole staple in the pages is not. It's not how I would do things, but it's not how real proper diaries are held together. And the original props did not staple in the pages anyway. Again, all the inserts. There's an insert there that's really good, but it's unfortunately, it's glued in, so it's a bit hard to get that in. Most of the inserts are missing, by the way. I'm gonna keep looking through this, then I'll go through what's missing. Alright, I don't think... Yeah, that is not completely that accurate. That page there, they wouldn't have... In the movie, it's never shown, but they wouldn't have a drawing of what the cup looks like, and probably at the end of where there's more space here. So that should not be there. It doesn't even... Yeah, it should not be there. This is a good one. This was at the church scene in the film where you have got the 3 and you got the 10 and such. And you have this, and I remember this scene where the Indiana Jones put this thumb over there and where he was looking through these. Now, again, I'm gonna go through this to show you what it looks like. This is, I think, Themes of History. Yep. Now this looks actually proper. That's good. We'll put that back in. Leave that out. Yeah. Again, with the bloody pages, the pages, the printing is so good. All of it is correct. Everything is position correct. Some pages here and there are not, but again, you cannot cut off the words, the letters, man. Alright, here's the thing. The reason why I'm saying I hate the stapling thing is look at that. It is pulling the paper. So if I keep laying it out like this, it will just be wrecked immediately. Like, I don't hate this. I love this book, but I love this replica prop, but oh my goodness, should I call it a real replica? Yes, but in terms of little details, bits here and there, just ruin it for me. I mean, like, if the cost and the money, like, and in fact, the tears in the pages that were not meant to be there. Oh my god. It just makes it look unofficial to have staples here. Oh my goodness. Alright. If I put my finger here. Look at that. Is that the print or is that paint? What is that? It's orange stuff coming from out of that. So, oh my god. The more I look at this, the more I see cheapness. I feel like I could have done a better job myself in making it, for real. I mean, like, we also have troubles here and there. But the problems here that I see in this book, I wouldn't have done. Hang on. Sorry, this become more of a me being negative of the entire thing, but I rightfully so, if I'm as a, say, for a point of view, yes, I would be negative about it. I mean, as me, as a customer or buying a product that someone made or selling, I would have every right to be upset. In fact, I myself am a prop maker and I am selling things, and they will not have problems like this right here. Person was unhappy about this or that, I wouldn't be lying. I wouldn't be to the person that's gonna buy it. In fact, if it gets broken, I would gladly fix it for them as well. I mean, like, I can't fully, like, I have to hold it like this. I can't fully, you know, look at that. Wait a second, what the hell? Repeating the pages now? I definitely think so. This is the map. What is this doing over here? I forgot where I put the map anyway. Oh. So what is this doing over here? You know what? It doesn't matter, forget it. That's interesting. Oh great, I can't pull it out. I mean, like, flip out, because there's a bit of a in the back here as well. Yeah, again, with the whole stapling thing, you see why I dislike in stapling things. First of all, it makes it look unprofessional, and second, it prevents you from fully flipping it over. Flipping the pages over, I meant to say. And you kind of see why I had trouble making my own book, because it was really difficult, like really difficult to hand draw on each page by page with the pages that I printed out. Oh look, another insert. That's good. Now this is the reason why is because the pages on this book does not have the page that looks like on this book. Now I'm glad that this looks like this, because on the ones that are available and that you can buy and not for auction has the page that looks like this, and that is the exact same page, which is the opposite, and it looks nothing like this. So it was very hard to know which one the page will actually look like. The pages will actually look like, because it was completely, I don't know, misinterpreting or showing what the actual pages are supposed to look like. This is great. What the hell is that? It's not meant to be there, or is it? I don't know, And oh my goodness. It's completely printed. Look at that. It's not even inserted correctly. You can see it's completely a bit off. Not aligned correct. Not aligned perfectly well. as I keep mentioning before, the staples takes it away. Takes the overall look away. Okay, here's another one. Now, I don't think these pages are in the proper, accurate way, because look, in the beginning of the scene, well, during the halfway of the scene where Indy is at the, I think this should be on far over here, not over here, unless I'm wrong. Alright, see this? Look. Why? I guess for like aesthetic, if like for real, if you're in like a desert or whatever, the pages would be discolored and but the you get your fingers all messy if you want to read this. I mean, like as a library standpoint as well. I know this is a prop replica, and this is for more on looks clearly for more for display purposes. But if I wanted to read this, or a friend that is a fan of the movies and doesn't have a prop and he wants to have a look through this, he's gonna be very displeased in certain bits. Like for instance, get crap all over his hands and oh my goodness. There's a couple of blank pages here and there. There's some certain bits that aren't well thought out. That's the thing. Look, it's not even glued in. Right. Here's something interesting. Get a little thing on Professor of Archaeology and signature and such. I don't think this would be actually in the book. I'm not too sure myself. So yeah. It's very nice. Oh, sorry. But it's very nice to be included as well. I don't know what this is. This looks like a postage thing. Yeah. This looks like a postage thing. Look at it. Look, it's covered in yellow crap because of the pages or whatever they use to make it discolored. Oh my goodness, look, it's completely cut off. Why? It's good printing, but freaking terrible to position the print. Like, scale it down a little bit. Look, even some of it is cut off, like even including the, oh my goodness gracious me. Now look, some of the color of some of the printing is worn off and it looks like it's dripping down. I don't know if it's from age on who owned this book. I have no idea. It's completely a mystery on how this was made. I don't know. This is, oh yeah, here's another thing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Whoops, sorry. Look at that. This is how they, so this does belong to the owner that makes these and sell these. But you know why? Because I've seen photos, not just photos, but in detail on how they made it. This is how they made it. They have this and they sort of glued the ends here and there, and then they put paper over it and they'll go like that. So yeah, this is clearly not made by the seller who bought this. He's selling it because he wants to get rid of it so anyone else can take. and for the same amount of money as well. So yeah, I could have saved more money. Probably about $300 to get a proper better book of this. And I could have gone to Etsy, could have gone to other places, but they were overly expensive. Rightfully so, because the better and better. I could see this as a start for buying the prop. I see this as an illustration standpoint, not as in a prop replica. This is a prop, a replica, yes, as well. But with the issues that you will also get with it. Staples. Cut off pages of print. And wherever the hell the yellow stuff that is on my fingers. And this is as a customer who wants to get a prop. This thing, the people that are making these and selling these on eBay, not for auction. This one, I got this on auction, but I think this is the same book. I don't know. I think it is by the people that are selling them for no auction at all. And there's 10 available left. Now, if you've seen how many are sold, are like 500,000 millions. I don't know the exact number, but there's so many of them. I can't disfault them if they had to make shitloads of these with some flaws here and there, but like staple them together, cheaper and easier to do. But for me personally, it's not official. I mean, for instance, the strap, and like, look at it. Look at it. It looks ugly. Yeah. I could take the staples out and just stitch it myself, but look, I could do that. I could modify this. And I would, but me and my dad, has the same feeling of what I said. Like, if I can't modify this if I paid so much money into making this. And look, again, I don't think this was deliberately meant to look like this. For instance, here, the tears, because they're all coming off. Look at it. Sorry, this became more on a negative review video. But I like this book. I always wanted one. It has all the things here that I want. But it also has all the things here that I don't want for a prop replica. And you pay 200 and something cool money for this. That's it for my review. And this goes to the people that are constantly saying that, oh, buy the actual prop. Buy the actual prop that you can get on Etsy, eBay. But I did say to them, yeah, they are great. But you don't. But you ended up having things you don't want. Ended up things you do want. And that's part of life. And that's why I wanted to make my own prop, not just for my sake, but for other people's sake, so they can be happy what they have, and be happy what they can make it. Like, I'm having trouble speaking here, because, as I said before, if I was literally making this and it looked good as this, I mean, really good, like, I wouldn't have the staples, I wouldn't have, my goodness, I wouldn't have the mess-ups. Maybe for the first attempt, yeah. The second attempt, maybe a little. Third attempt, no. This is not a first attempt of making a Grail diary. This is clearly a few attempts, because you can see how completely good this completely looks, how it's made, how the pages are lined up, how it's, so this is not a first attempt. This is an attempt by many. Anyway, this is it for my review. And my dad, unfortunately, stupid me for not doing a proper look at it. I said to my dad, this is good and everything. So my dad gave a positive review without me being an idiot, didn't check it properly. So this is me actually going through it as well as recording this video. And as you can see, the prop that I was working on is exactly the same size as this. I don't have it with me. I don't know where I put it, but I will probably work on it and just give it away. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Remember, I will see you in the future. Bye.